Hey guys, today we're going to be reacting to my story animated. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, do that now and make sure to hit the notification bell. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Hi, I'm Julita, and I work as a housekeeper at a fancy hotel in the city. After I graduated high school, my parents forced me to take a part-time job because, according to them, I was a spoiled brat who had no clue how the real world worked. And between working for my father at his diner and cleaning after people, I chose the second. At least I could work alone with no one bossing me around. So I started to work at the hotel. Everything went smoothly. I learned the process quickly and had my own schedule. But after a while, I got bored. So I
Bro,
started
that's
going
how
through
you
people's
get
stuff.
fired from your job and arrested. I work at a hotel, but I got bored, so I decided to go through other people's things.
Don't judge. I didn't know the people who stayed at the hotel, so spying on them was harmless. It was just pure fun. At first, I just looked through the things left on the bedside table. But they were pretty boring, so I started going through the closets, and there I found weird costumes, wigs, interesting pictures, love letters, strange shoes, and all. One time I was cleaning the biggest, most luxurious suite in our hotel, the one only wealthy people could afford. I finished cleaning the rooms, and then it was time to do some digging. I opened the closet and found a gorgeous golden Dior dress. It was sparkly and took my breath away. Wow! Even in my wildest dreams, I wouldn't get the chance to wear something like this. So, without giving
What's
it a
wrong
second
with you?
thought, I
You're actually stupid.
tried it on. It was amazing, and it fit me so well to the point I thought it was specially made for me. I stood in front of the big mirror and pretended to be an actress receiving her first Oscar, bowing and throwing kisses to the crowds. But then I heard a clicking sound. Someone was trying to open the door. I started to panic. Oh my God, they'll catch me and I'll be fired, or even worse, I'll go to jail for using other people's things. I tried to take the dress quickly off, but I couldn't. The zipper got stuck in the middle, so I did the next obvious thing. I went under the bed. A man entered the room. I saw him walking around and talking on the phone, saying, "I just need a girl to pretend she's my date for a night. I got the dress and I'll pay her $3,000. Find me one as soon as possible." Then he took a suitcase and got out. I got up, changed back into my uniform, and got out of there. That was close. But I couldn't forget what the man said. $3,000 for a night? That's like my monthly salary. And he was probably talking about the dress I was wearing. I could be the girl he was asking for, but how can I make it happen? I stalked the man for 2 nights in a row, and I
Okay,
noticed that he spent
that's just creepy. You already wore the dress. Stalking him is too far. I hope you get exposed.
time in the lobby. On the 3rd night, I decided to make my move. I wore the best dress I had with some makeup on and went to speak to him. "Hey, handsome, are you new here?" I asked. He looked at me and smiled. "Yes, what about you?" His name was Troy. We started talking, and it wasn't long until he said, "Listen, I normally don't do this, but you seem really nice. I need a girl to accompany me to a party and pretend to be my girlfriend. Just for one night. Would you be interested?" I waited until he mentioned the money thing, but he kept quiet. But I didn't want to miss my chance, so I immediately said yes. We agreed to meet at the hotel. He took me straight to his room. A glam team was waiting there. A man did my hair and makeup, and a woman helped me wear the golden dress. I had to pretend to see it for the first time. In an hour, I was looking like one of those Hollywood actresses. That man got some money. When we were in the car, I asked him, "So where are we going?" And he calmly said, "To my ex's wedding." I screamed, "What? How is that possible? Are you even invited?" And he responded, "Yes, because she's marrying my best friend." I gasped, but I didn't say anything back. The situation seemed messy, and I didn't want to meddle into it, so I stopped asking questions. I just took a few photos of me wearing the dress for my Instagram account. Everyone has to see me in it. Then we got to the wedding. It was like a fairy tale wedding. Roses everywhere, a band playing, and people dressed super nice. Was everyone here rich but me? Troy took my hand and went straight to the bride and groom to congratulate them. I noticed as we were getting closer, he was becoming more and more nervous. We were walking arm in arm, and I felt like he was squashing mine and not holding it. When we got there, he looked at the bride with eyes full of pain. Poor thing, he still had feelings for her. He said, "Congratulations." The bride smiled and nodded, but she didn't say anything back. So I decided to break that awkward silence by saying, Congratulations. Troy told me that you two used to date. Thanks for letting him go. I couldn't ask for a better man. Troy smiled and the bride looked irritated. We left her standing and went
She
dancing.
looks so mad.
He was laughing hard. He said, "Wow, you were really good at this. Did you see her face?" And I responded, "First rule of a breakup, show them that you're better off without them, even if you're not." He kept laughing. We danced, had dinner, and the night turned out to be quite lovely. Troy was a really cool guy. We left the party and went roaming in the streets. We passed by one of those ice cream trucks. I yelled at the driver, "Stop the car!" Troy was startled. I got out and bought 2 ice cream cones for us. This, my friend, is the best $2 ice cream you will ever have in your life. Then I took him to a special place where we could see the city from above, with all the lights and noises. At 3 o'clock in the morning, we got back to the hotel. We were tired but excited about the fun we just had. I headed to his room to change the dress and get my clothes, but Troy said, "You can keep it. I haven't had this much fun in a long time thanks to you." I couldn't believe what he was saying. That dress cost more than $20,000. I tried to say no, but he wouldn't accept, so I went home with the dress. The next day, I got back to work. I felt like I had my Cinderella night and it was over. Reality check. But when I was going out of the elevator with my cleaning cart, I saw Troy heading towards me. I freaked out and I instantly pushed the button and the door closed. For some reason, I didn't want him to know that I was just a housekeeper. I felt embarrassed by it, and I wanted him to remember me as the nice girl who he had a great time with, not a gold digger. So I tried to avoid him during his stay at the hotel. Whenever I saw him coming, I would go to the other side, and I asked Anita, a woman who works with me, to clean his suite. That way I made sure I don't run into him by accident. But I couldn't stop thinking of him. I watched him from a distance when he was having coffee in the lobby or having lunch in a hotel. He was so handsome. But then, a week later, our hotel arranged a conference for businessmen. The hotel manager asked us to work as waiters that night for extra money. I had to do it. I could use the extra money and the tipping I'd get. Troy was in the room. This time, however, he was with a beautiful girl, blonde with blue eyes, wearing a stunning white dress. I tried to avoid them all night, and I managed to do so. But the more I noticed Troy flirting with the girl, the more pissed I became. Who the hell was she? I know I just met him a week ago, but I felt like she was taking my place and that I should be the one wearing that dress and enjoying the evening. I was jealous. I had a strong feeling of wanting to ruin the night for her. So when Troy was talking to some men, I came close and asked if she'd like a drink. When she said no, I purposefully shook the tray in my hand and all the drinks fell over her dress. The dress was full of stains. It got ruined and I smiled inside. Yet before I got the chance to apologize, the girl said in a nasty voice, "What a jerk. Can't you do your job properly? Do you have any idea how much this dress cost?" Her loud voice brought attention, people started looking at us, and I found myself in a sticky situation. "I'm truly sorry." I thought that she'd accept my apology and go change, but it seemed that I unleashed the beast in her. She yelled, saying, "If the stains do not go off, you'll pay for a new one." What? I can't afford that. I started to panic and got really nervous. Stupid me, what have I done? I kept apologizing. "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I'll get it cleaned, I promise." Then Troy came. He was surprised to see me wearing a uniform. He said to the girl to calm her down. "Don't worry, I'll get you another one." Then he looked at me and asked, "Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you. What are you doing here? Why are you dressed like this?" I responded, "I'm working. I'm a housekeeper. I work at the hotel." Troy looked confused. He realized that he was going out with a cleaning lady. So he said, "This is not appropriate. You should be working somewhere else." What? Was he now lecturing me about how to live my life? I was furious. So I said, "Working here is not appropriate, but paying people to accompany you to parties is?" He was shocked. He asked,
XD, hit the like button if you think she's going to get exposed. Comment if you think he's going to leave her.
"What do you mean?" I didn't answer. I just cleaned the mess and left. But something worse happened. The girl that was with Troy wanted to take revenge. She knew that me spilling the drinks was not a mistake. She asked the hotel manager to see the cameras, and when they did, they saw me do it on purpose. I was fired. When I went home, my parents yelled at me for getting fired. "You're useless. You can't handle a single job. What a loser." And for the first time in my life, I felt like they spoke the truth. I was a horrible person, only causing trouble. I needed to change. So I got out of their house, I went to another city, and I stayed in an apartment with 2 other girls. It wasn't much, but that was what I could afford back then. And there was something good that I learned about me from that unforgettable experience, and that was I loved fashion. So I started going to a school that had fashion designing programs, and I took a job as a sales assistant and worked my way up. 6 years later, I became the head manager of a famous designing company. I became successful, and I proved my parents wrong. I just wished I could speak to Troy and thank him. If it weren't for that dress, I wouldn't have found my true passion in life. But then, while I was working at my office, a magazine called to interview me, and I agreed. And the interviewer asked me, "So how did you fall in love with fashion? It seems strange because your family has nothing to do with it. They own a diner, don't they?" I smiled and told them about the golden dress. I told them the first part of the story. They found it amusing and romantic, so they asked me to take a picture of the dress. I didn't mind. However, 2 days later, I got a phone call. The speaker said, "I thought you forgot about our adventure. I thought I'd never see you again." I smiled.